this video is going to be all about the biggest lessons learned from making over $100,000 in brand deals and sponsorships. And there's going to be something for all creators on here, whether you have a channel that has 500 subscribers or 500,000 subscribers. These are very, very important. So we're going to break down like a whole bunch of things, from how to get brand deals and sponsorships if you're looking to get some, how to raise your prices, how to do other types or brainstorm on how to do other types of brand deals besides like the typical video mention and the dedicated video on YouTube. So we're going to have another one of my favorite virtual chats and just talk. Okay. And I'll just back up a little bit and say how I got started with brand deals and sponsorships. So my inbox started to get really full when I hit about 20,000 subscribers. There were some people and companies interested before that, but right around the time when my channel was about 20,000, even probably 15,000, I was getting inquiries maybe 3 to 4 times a week. Okay, so that's quite a bit. And a lot of them, though, I didn't really vibe with. I'm like, I don't really know about promoting this random thing or this business tool. But there were some that stuck out, and I'm like, okay. But at that time, I was really busy trying to get a system going, workflows going, and was busy with other things I was doing at that time. At that time, I was heavy into affiliate marketing. And what else was I doing at that time? Trying to hire a video editor, because at that time I was transitioning from editing my videos to getting a video editor. Anyway, the point is, I remember when I decided, okay, I'm going to test this out and do a brand deal and see what happens. Okay. I remember I had over 20,000 subscribers and I did my first dedicated brand deal for $200. This was a dedicated video. It was tons of work, exhausting, for $200. Okay. And we'll get into pricing and what I think your pricing should be for the amount of views you're getting. But for the amount of views I was getting, which was quite a bit, it was well over 100,000 views per month at that time. Maybe at the low end, 75,000 views per month, but it was a lot. And that video ended up doing really well and going viral and making that company a ton of money, and pretty much for free. I mean, $200, that's nothing, all right, for a company to pay a subscriber, no, a YouTuber. Okay, so here's the first point I want to mention is, wherever you are in your journey for charging brand deals and companies, right now, what I want you to do is go triple your pricing, maybe even quadruple, and stand by that price. Okay, and there's so many reasons why. And the first thing is, when somebody asks, like when a company wants to do paid advertising with Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever type of paid ads they have going on, it's never a free thing. It's like you have to pay an upfront price, cost per lead, cost per view, in order just to get the campaign going, right? Not to mention, you have to do the creative side where you have to put the video together, the imaging together, the copy of the ad together, right? This is all upfront work. And then you have to pay Facebook or Google to run the ad for you, right? You have to pay for everything you get. And so think about that the next time you charge, is like, hey, you have to pay me to do that upfront work, to do the copy, to do the scripting, to do the video ad creative. It takes a lot of energy to do that. So that your time is super valuable. Okay, so pick a number right now and be like, let's say you pick $100 an hour, and you know it takes 12 hours to make a video, so that's $1,200 for this video. Charge minimum that. Okay, so have a baseline of what you're doing, because what companies will try to do is they'll try to say, well, oh, your channel is only getting X amount of views per video. It's like, no, my channel, the work up front is not free. So you're paying for my time to do this. So have that in perspective next time a company tries to downsell you, or say oh, well, we only have a budget of X amount of dollars. I'm like, okay, well, it's just not worth my time. So that is the pricing. Right now, evaluate what you're doing or what you're asking for, and at least triple and 4x it. So that's the first thing I wanted to say is your value is worth way more, because one, they are borrowing your audience, which you have worked so hard to build. Okay, you have worked hard to create these videos. Your audience trusts you. Okay, and so for them to borrow your audience, which is considered warm traffic, is super valuable in itself, because neither one of you know, like you as a creator or the company know whether or not that video is going to go viral. So it has to be worth the time and effort from you to publish this video for them on their behalf. Does that make sense? And by the way, if you are interested in working with myself and my team one-on-one, where we actually go in and recruit, hire, and train a growth-focused YouTube team for your channel, where we 5x your YouTube and your lead growth in 90 days or less guaranteed, definitely hop on a YouTube strategy call. You'll talk with myself or one of my team members and YouTube coaches, and we'll see and evaluate your goals and if we can help you and if it aligns. So definitely book a strategy call today. And the way I also evaluate is like, hey, am I getting an affiliate commission? Or is this just they get 100% profit in sales? That also affects my price. If I'm able to get affiliate commissions, I will consider not charging more, right? So my prices start at a certain rate. I'll have it stay at that rate, but that rate does increase if I'm not getting a commission from the sale. Does that make sense? So that's my first advice, is raise your prices. Okay, and the next thing is evaluate with your business model if it's worth doing brand deals. Okay, because you could have products that are low ticket. Maybe you have a lower ticket recurring income and membership that's less than $50, or maybe you have a course that's $9.97 or something like that. Is this brand deal worth them taking away leads and customers from your product and service for evergreen forever, right? Because this traffic is going to continue building for them and not necessarily for you, because you're directing the traffic to their link in the first link in the description, probably in the first comment. Maybe you're also giving them a shout out on the community tab. Is it worth losing business and customers for you? Because that's essentially what you're giving up. And that's why my prices for a lot of companies, they're like, wow, that's really high. You only have 200,000 subscribers. It's like, well, this is why. It's like we have in our product suite, we have products ranging from $49 all the way up to 15 grand. So it's like really hard. Like if I do a brand deal for you, I'm losing money on the back end. So this is the mentality you have to have, is like, am I willing to lose leads and sales on the back end of my business model, whether that's coaching, consulting, whether you have an e-commerce store, whatever it is. If the math makes sense, okay, fine. Okay. And the other thing too is like, negotiate, is this going to be a recurring brand deal? So are you going to do this just once? Typically for the first time you engage with a company and a sponsor, it's good to test the waters and say like, hey, let's do a test video and see if my audience vibes with it. And if it does, cool, we can negotiate a package of videos throughout the year. Maybe it's 4 times a year. Every quarter you do a sponsored video with them. So this is good actually for both parties. So that way you can plan in advance and know that you're going to get that income. And you can possibly negotiate a little bit less of a rate, a special rate, as I call it, with the company, because they're willing to commit to you. So I would definitely also have this in a contract. That's the next point, is like always have a contract, an agreement, and know how you're getting paid, when you're getting paid. I really have a problem with companies who pay out net 30, net 45, which means you as a creator don't get paid for this sponsor until 30 days after you've posted it on your channel. Like that's a huge no-no. And I understand why they do it. They do it because they've probably been scammed by YouTubers before who get paid first and post a video and then don't end up sharing the link, or they don't conclude or do their part, right? So they receive the money and they don't even make the video, which really is not ethical. So, but on the flip side, I've been scammed where I've created a video and have not gotten paid, which is absolute absurdity. So you definitely don't want that, and you need to protect. The way I do it is I ask for either the full payment up front, or I negotiate and I say, hey, 50% up front when I have the draft, and then the other 50%, 24 to 48 hours after the video goes live, I'll send you the invoice. That is a great way to handle it. Okay. The next thing I would say is, if you are a smaller creator, know your worth as well. Because if you have a community right now of, let's say, 1,000 subscribers and you're building up, do not be afraid to message these companies and say, hey, just give kind of like a media kit breakdown. Like, here's my audience. I have these demographics on my channel. They're, 97% from the US and the rest from Canada and the UK or whatever. I have 62% men, the rest female. They're interested in this, this, and this. And people will say like, oh, wow, this is great, because a lot of companies nowadays are more interested in micro influencers, meaning those with like a following of less than 10,000, because their audiences are really, really engaged and hot and new, right? Because it means that they have recently followed them because their following is a little bit smaller. Whereas a bigger creator like myself, and way bigger, like 500, 1 million subscribers, they have built up an audience over 5 years, 9 years, right? And so a lot of their freshness of the people that subscribed from back then isn't really relevant anymore. So a lot of companies are wanting to do business with the micro influencer. So I would just write an email, pick out 10 companies, have the same template per email, and just say, hey, so-and-so, sponsor director or affiliate marketing director of the company, like, I have an audience, describe the demographics, here's what I charge, we could do a video, and I can have it posted by the end of the month. I'm really interested. I know this would do really well with my channel, because my audience is interested in using these types of products. They've bought this before, and make it really like what's in it for them. Okay. So that's a great way right now where you can get some cash injection into your business as you're still building up your email list, as you're still building up your organic audience on YouTube. I think that brand deals are a great way to make anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 a month, even as a micro influencer. And my other piece of advice is see if that company is willing to reciprocate for you, meaning they're able to promote you and help you out in business in some type of way. Because what I can't stand sometimes is that with sponsors, it's all about them. It's all about their success, their sales, them getting paid. And it's really, really annoying, right? And that's why a lot of times I'll navigate away from sponsorships, but it gets exhausting sometimes, because you turn in this video, you put your heart and soul into it, and sometimes they don't like it. And they're like, you have to redo this, 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 and this. Then you got to tell your editing team, and then it just turns into a big fat mess. Those are the sponsors I don't like working with, where they're like very one-sided, like this is what we want and blah, 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 blah. But where the ones where I do like, they want a long-term partnership or relationship collaboration, where they're like, hey, well, actually, we'd love to promote you too, or do a YouTube live with our audience and cross promote. Those are the ones that I absolutely love, because that's where you can get creative with companies and not just have them or have you make a video on your channel promoting their service or product, but you can actually do other creative things. Like, for example, if they want, just fixing my hair, gets a little, like, for example, if they want you to incorporate their product or service, tool, whatever it is, into your course, and then your course or program can be sponsored by this company. So it's a win-win, because your students and clients get to access maybe a discount code from them, and then they get your warmest source of leads. So your buyers are your hottest source of traffic. So those are the ones that are going to have a touch point with their service. So that is super, super valuable. And you can pitch it to them as that, like, hey, I have a list of 300 buyers right now. They can access your tool. And, if you pay me to incorporate your service or product or whatever into my curriculum, I can create educational assets for them. So that way they actually use the tool. And it's a win-win, because it's evergreen sales. They get a sale, you get the affiliate commission, and the student or client gets the product, which helps them in whatever it is they're doing. So think about that. What are other creative ways outside the box that you can collaborate with these companies besides just a video mention, besides just a dedicated video? There's other ways that could be really, really fun and fulfilling for both sides of the company. And typically those have been my favorite brand deals and sponsorships, when someone is willing to support you as a small business as well. So let's talk about pricing. I don't have like a pricing sheet or chart, but just as like rule of thumb, if your channel's in the range of, let's say, 75,000 to 100,000 subscribers, earning anywhere from 100K views to 150K views a month, I believe you have the right to charge $4,000 for a dedicated video, at least, minimum, okay? Try not to accept anything less. And at that size as well, I believe that you can charge between $2,000 and $2,500 for a video mention of 60 to 90 seconds on your channel. And so for those of you smaller creators, maybe let's say your channel is 10,000 subscribers to 50,000 subscribers and you're getting half that view count. So let's say anywhere between 50 to 90,000 views per month. I believe that you have the ability to charge half of that at least. So $2,500 for a dedicated video, and let's say anywhere from $800 to $1,200 for a video mention. So hopefully that gives you a good range. And of course, if your channel's bigger, you know, double those numbers, triple those numbers accordingly. But I think that you should go for that as a base. Negotiate for yourself. You're worth it. You deserve for these companies to pay you well. All right, if you've made it to this point in this video, definitely check out this video coming up next, all about how I pivoted my YouTube niche. I left the make money online niche and what is going on now. So check out that video. It's coming up right here, right now. We'll see you there.